Three women went to bed after a graduation party. By morning, all three had vanished. The front door was unlocked. Their purses sat on the floor with $900 in cash still inside, car keys on the table, a pack of cigarettes left behind by a woman who never went anywhere without them. The only witness was a small dog pacing the empty rooms. No signs of a struggle, no screams heard. No one saw anything. It's been over 30 years, and still, no one knows what happened that night. This is the story of the Springfield Three. Springfield, Missouri. June 6, 1992. It's graduation day. 19-year-old Suzanne Streeter and her best friend, 18-year-old Stacy McCall, are graduating from Kickapoo High School. The ceremony's at 4 in the afternoon. Suzanne's mom, Sherrill, is there watching her daughter walk across that stage. She works as a hairdresser at a local salon, and she and Suzanne are really close. After the ceremony ends, the real celebration begins. Graduation parties all over town. It's that kind of night where everyone's out, saying goodbye to high school, making plans for summer. The plan for Suzanne and Stacy is pretty simple. Hit a few parties, then crash at their friend Janelle Kirby's house. In the morning, everyone's driving down to Branson to spend the day at a water park. Before heading out, both girls stop by home. Stacy poses for photos with her graduation cake and gets a puppy as a gift. Suzanne swings by her mom's place, takes some pictures with friends, then heads to Janelle's. She tells her friend Nigel she'll call him in the morning. Stacy promises her mom she'll check in too. Just normal teenage plans, nothing out of the ordinary. Around 11:15 that night, Cheryl's on the phone with a friend, talking about this armoire she's been painting in her bedroom. That's the last time anyone hears her voice. The girls bounce between parties that evening. Around 10, Stacy calls her mom with a quick update. They've decided not to drive to Branson that night after all. It's late, and her mom had been worried about them driving. So the new plan is to meet up with everyone first thing in the morning. Their last stop is a party at a friend's house. Springfield police show up and break it up around 1:50 in the morning. Suzanne, Stacy, and Janelle head back to Janelle's place, arriving sometime around 2. That's when things change. When they get to Janelle's house, it's packed. Family came in from out of town for the graduation. There's barely any space to move, let alone sleep. So, Suzanne has an idea. Why don't she and Stacy just go back to her mom's house instead? Plus, she's been dying to show Stacy her new waterbed that just got delivered. Janelle's mom, Kathy, is already in bed, but hears them talking as they're leaving. Suzanne says, "Follow me to my house." Stacy replies, "Okay, I will." Car doors slam, engines start, and they drive off into the night. That's the last time anyone sees them. Based on what was found the next day, they made it to Sherrill's house on East Delmar Street. Their cars were there, their belongings were there. They clearly arrived sometime after 2 in the morning. What happened after that, no one knows. Morning arrives. 9 o'clock rolls around. Janelle and her boyfriend Mike head over to Suzanne's house. The girls were supposed to be back at Janelle's by now so everyone could leave for the water park together, but they never showed. Janelle's getting worried. Both Suzanne and Stacy are dependable. They don't just disappear without telling anyone. When they pull up, all 3 cars are sitting in the driveway. That's when Janelle knows something's wrong. She walks up to the house. The front door's unlocked. She pushes it open and calls out. Nothing, just silence. They walk through the rooms. Nobody's home. In Suzanne's bedroom, 3 purses are lined up on the floor. Wallets sitting open. Cheryl's purse has almost $900 in tips from the salon. Out on the front porch, Mike notices broken glass. The cover on the porch light is shattered, though the bulb itself is fine. He grabs a broom and helps Janelle sweep it up since she's barefoot. Later, police will say that might have destroyed evidence, but at the time, they're just trying to clean up. Inside, the family dog is acting strange. A little Yorkshire Terrier named Cinnamon, clearly upset and anxious. Stacy's clothes from the night before folded neatly, but her shirt and underwear are missing. There are makeup wipes on the counter that were recently used, jewelry's on the dresser, keys on the table. Then there are the cigarettes. Sherrill's cigarettes. A full pack sitting there untouched. That detail hits Janelle hard. Everyone who knew Sherrill described her as a chain smoker. She never left the house without her cigarettes. Ever. While they're standing there trying to figure out what's going on, the phone rings. Janelle picks up. It's a man. The things he's saying are crude, sexual, disturbing. She hangs up immediately. The phone rings again. Another obscene call. She hangs up again. It's unsettling, but Janelle remembers Suzanne mentioning prank calls ever since moving into this house with her mom a few months back. Still, it feels wrong. Everything feels wrong. With no sign of the girls, Janelle and Mike decide to leave. They end up going to a different water park in Springfield, figuring maybe the girls will turn up eventually. But hours pass, and there's still nothing. Stacy's mom, Janice, has been trying to reach her daughter all morning. Call after call, no answer. That's not like Stacy at all. She always picks up or calls back right away. Janice starts reaching out to friends, other parents, anyone who might know something. Eventually, someone confirms that Suzanne and Stacy never made it to the water park. Now, Janice is in full panic mode. She drives straight to Sherrill's house. The second she opens the door, Cinnamon comes running at her, frantic and crying. Janice walks through the house and sees everything Janelle saw: the purses, the money, the folded clothes. But she notices something else too. Stacy's shirt and underwear are gone. Everything else is accounted for, but not those. She sees the makeup wipes, still damp, the jewelry, the car keys. It's like the three women just evaporated into thin air. Janice grabs the phone and calls the police, her hands shaking. While she's waiting for them, she notices the answering machine. There's a message. She hits play. A voice comes through the speaker. Later, she'll describe it as strange, unsettling, different from those prank calls. The message finishes playing. And then, just like most answering machines back in 1992, it automatically erases itself. Gone forever. When police ask Janice about it later, she can't recall the exact words. Just that it felt off. Wrong, somehow. Investigators later say that message could have been the break they needed, but there's no way to get it back. By the time officers arrive, it's already late afternoon, more than 16 hours since anyone last saw the three women, and the scene's already been compromised. Friends and family have been coming and going all day, walking through the house. Someone emptied ashtrays. Someone washed coffee cups. Cleaned up a bit. At least 10 to 20 people tracked through what should have been treated as a crime scene from the start. When police finally process everything, there's not much to work with. No forced entry, no furniture knocked over, no blood, no weapons, just that shattered porch light cover. Inside, it looks like Sherrill's bed was slept in. There's a window blind that's bent at an odd angle, but nothing screaming violence or struggle. All three women had plans the next day. Sherrill had a doctor's appointment Monday morning and work later that week. Stacy was scheduled at the Springfield Gymnastics Center. Suzanne had a shift at the movie theater Tuesday afternoon. None of them showed up for any of it. The search kicks off immediately. Police, volunteers, search dogs, helicopters. They comb through parks, woods, rivers, abandoned buildings. Everywhere they can think of, they find absolutely nothing. Not a shoe, not a piece of clothing, not a single trace. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Tips start flooding in by the thousands. People claiming they saw something, heard something, know something. But none of it leads anywhere solid. Then, on December 31st, 1992, something happens. A man calls the America's Most Wanted hotline. He says he has information about the 3 missing women. The way he talks, it's clear this isn't just another random tip. He knows details, specific things about what happened. The operator tries to patch him through to Springfield investigators. The call disconnects. He never calls back. Police go public, begging him to reach out again. They say it's obvious he knows something critical, but there's only silence. As months turn into years, investigators start looking hard at several people. There's Dustin Reykla, Suzanne's ex-boyfriend. A few months before the disappearance, he and 2 friends broke into a mausoleum in Springfield. They stole gold fillings from a skull, $30 worth. Suzanne gave police a statement about it and was expected to testify against him. Reykla and his buddies were in the area that night, but there's no physical evidence tying him to what happened. No witnesses place him at the house. Then there's Larry Dwayne Hall, a suspected serial killer who traveled around doing Civil War reenactments. Authorities believe he abducted, raped, and murdered dozens of women across the Midwest between 1980 and 1994. Most of his suspected murders happened during reenactment season: March, June, August, September. On June 6, 1992, there were 2 reenactments near Springfield, morning and afternoon sessions. The FBI sent an operative named Jimmy Keene into prison to get close to Hall. Hall opened up to him, confessed to murders in graphic detail, things only the actual killer would know. He even mentioned having a map showing where his victims were. But when Keene's cover got blown, Hall shut down completely. That map was never found. Hall's never been charged in connection with the Springfield Three. In 1997, another name surfaces: Robert Craig Cox. He's locked up in Texas for kidnapping, also suspected in a Florida murder. Cox tells reporters he knows what happened to the 3 women, says they were murdered, claims their bodies will never be recovered. Back in 1992, Cox was living in Springfield. When police questioned him after the disappearance, he said he was at church with his girlfriend the morning after the women vanished. She backed him up. Later on, she recanted. Admitted, Cox asked her to lie for him. Cox also claimed he was at his parents' house the night everything went down, and they confirmed it. Authorities couldn't figure out if Cox was actually involved or just trying to get attention by making false claims. Cox told people he'd reveal what happened after his mother died. She's been gone for years now. He hasn't said a word. Investigators today don't think Cox has any real credibility. There's also Gerald Carnahan. 15 years after the Springfield Three vanished, Carnahan gets convicted for the 1985 rape and murder of a woman named Jackie Johns. He's got multiple other convictions too, including an attempted abduction. Carnahan had connections to a motorcycle gang called the Galloping Goose. That gang's been rumored to have ties to the case. One member, Stephen Garrison, is a convicted rapist who apparently gave police credible information about the missing women. Both Carnahan and Garrison are serving time, but still, no charges have been filed related to this case. In 1993, a tip comes in claiming the women's bodies are buried under a parking garage at Cox Hospital. In 2007, a crime reporter brings in an engineer with ground-penetrating radar to scan the area. The engineer finds 3 anomalies. Same general size. He says they're consistent with what you'd expect from graves. Police look into it, but the parking garage wasn't even constructed until September 1993, more than a year after the women disappeared. Plus, the tip apparently came from someone claiming to be psychic or saying they had a dream about it. Digging up an entire parking garage would cost a fortune. Without solid evidence, police determine it's not credible enough to pursue, so the questions just keep piling up. What actually happened that night? Did someone follow them home from a party, wait until they fell asleep and then break in? Was it some kind of targeted abduction? But why take all three? Sherrill didn't have enemies. Stacy was just visiting. Maybe a robbery that spiraled out of control? Except nothing was stolen, not the cash, not the cars, not the jewelry. And then there are these strange details that don't quite fit. The broken porch light. Was it smashed during some kind of struggle, or did someone break it trying to get inside? Why are Stacy's shirt and underwear missing while everything else was neatly folded? What was on that answering machine message? Who left it, and what did they say? Those obscene phone calls the next morning. Were they connected to what happened, or just a creepy coincidence? And the biggest question hanging over everything: how do three women disappear from a house on a residential street in the middle of the night without anyone seeing or hearing a thing? No screams, no sounds of a struggle, no cars speeding off, just silence. More than 30 years have passed now. Sherrill would be 80, Suzanne would be 52, Stacy would be 51. The case has been all over true crime TV. 48 Hours, America's Most Wanted, documentaries, podcasts. There's even a bench dedicated to them in a memorial garden in Springfield. Over 5,000 tips have come in over the years. The case is still open, still unsolved. It was supposed to be a celebration. Graduation night, friends, parties, plans to hit the water park the next day. Instead, three women vanished from a quiet house in Missouri. The door left unlocked. Lights on. A frightened dog left behind. Everything they owned was in that house. Their money, their keys, their plans for tomorrow. Everything except them. 33 years later, nobody knows why. Somewhere out there, someone knows what happened. Until they come forward, the Springfield Three will remain one of the most haunting, unsolved mysteries in American history.